what is next for two cornerstones of NXT. I'm Matt Carlins, and this is Just Pro Wrestling News for Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. A big welcome to those of you listening on OccupyProWrestling.com. You can bring our updates to your website. Find out how at JustProWrestlingNews.com.
WWE.
Tonight's NXT could shed some light on the futures of two longtime fixtures on that brand. Johnny Gargano has promised to tell fans everything following Sunday's WarGames match. Gargano tweeted, quote, "hell of a run," end quote, after the show ended. Another NXT veteran, Kyle O'Reilly, appears to be at a crossroads of his own. He is set to face Wagner tonight inside a steel cage. Also announced for tonight, Santos Escobar versus Xyon Quinn. And we could learn the identity of MSK's mysterious shaman. We have a new match announced for WWE's Day 1 pay-per-view on January 1st. It'll be Edge versus The Miz. Becky Lynch is still the Raw Women's Champion. She fought off the challenge of Liv Morgan in the main event of last night's Raw. Lynch reversed a roll-up into one of her own, then grabbed the bottom rope, and that allowed her to steal the pin. The show opened with WWE Champion Big E winning a non-title steel cage match over Kevin Owens. E hit the big ending from the second rope and then crawled out of the door to escape the cage. Seth Rollins was around ringside during this match, and after the match, Bobby Lashley showed up and he beat up all three guys. Damian Priest beat Robert Roode to retain the United States Championship. The WWE Women's Tag Team Champs, Queen Zelina and Carmella, beat Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH. Zelina pinned Nikki. Last night's Raw saw the start of the RK Bronament to decide the number one contenders for the Raw tag titles. Rey and Dominic Mysterio beat the Alpha Academy, and the Street Profits got a countout win over AJ Styles and Omos, but the big story there was some tension between Styles and Omos. Finn Balor beat T-Bar, Austin Theory attacked Balor after the match. Also last night, Bianca Belair beat Doudrop via countout. Matt Hardy says his brother Jeff is, quote, okay, he's good, and I think he'll be fine, end quote. This comes after reports that Jeff Hardy was sent home following a WWE house show in Corpus Christi, Texas over the weekend.
AEW.
Tonight's AEW Dark will see Brandy Rhodes return to in-ring action for the first time in over a year. She'll go up against Angelica Risk. Also tonight, the newest addition to Team Taz, Dante Martin, joining up with Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks for a six-man tag. Plus Ryo Mizunami versus Emi Sakura, John Silver versus Aaron Solo, Lee Moriarty versus Mysterioso, and Anthony Ogogo versus Baron Black. Ogogo wrestled his first match since June on last night's Dark Elevation. He delivered a knockout punch to lead the Factory to a tag team win. Also on the show, Abaddon and Ryo Mizunami beat the Bunny and Emi Sakura. Abaddon pinned the Bunny. Plus, Dustin Rhodes, Lee Johnson, and Brock Anderson beat Pretty Peter Avalon, JD Drake, and Cesar Bononi.
Ring of Honor.
A couple new matches are now set for Ring of Honor's Final Battle pay-per-view coming up on Saturday. Roxy will defend the ROH Women's Championship against Willow, who earned the shot by beating Mandy Leone on ROH's Weekend TV. Also added to Final Battle, Homicide, Tony Deppen, and Brody King versus Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, Taylor Rust, and Eli Isom. GCW announced the Collective will return for WrestleMania weekend next year, March 31st through April 2nd. It'll be held at Dallas's Fair Park.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
New Japan's World Tag League tournament resumes on Tuesday. The Best of the Super Juniors is back on Wednesday. It is the second to last night of matches in that tournament. The leader of the pack is Sho. He will face Taiji Ishimori. IWGP Junior Champion El Desperado is only 1 point behind Sho. He will face Ryusuke Taguchi. Hiromu Takahashi is tied for second with Despy. He will take on Dookie. That is Just Pro Wrestling News for Tuesday, December 7th. Our next update comes your way tomorrow morning, so please rate, review, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. I'm Matt Carlins. Thank you for listening.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.